Hey guys, what is going on? Chris here doing a recap as normal and a look ahead to today's games for the 24th of January. As normal, hope all you guys had a very good night in the NBA. A lot of late news broke, so I definitely had to scramble to fill in some of the injuries with Davis and Kawhi Leonard. Hopefully, you guys did as well. A lot of very high scores last night, so yeah, if you scored a 305 or up, then you should have definitely won. Usually in the tournaments, to win anything big, you need like at least 340, 350 up. Highest I saw was a 420. So some huge scores last night. So anyway, recap last night and look ahead to today's 6-game slate here for Tuesday. Alrighty, a 309. As I said, it wasn't the highest score out there, but definitely, it cashed no matter what. Anyway, went with Westbrook here. Decided to go with Westbrook. Davis was out, Kawhi Leonard was out, so I decided to go Westbrook. He was only 12% owned, so that was very, very good. Got to your triple double, almost had 70 points, so very good night as normal for Westbrook. Had to put Patty Mills in there because of the Kawhi Leonard news. As you see, I had to put quite a bit of San Antonio players in here. So anyway, Mills 25. Definitely take that from him. Batum, oh my goodness, don't know what happened to Batum here. It was a pretty competitive game, but 19 points. Thought he'd do a little bit better. Murray, he didn't do anything at all. Got 13, but he was so well owned that it didn't really kill you. Next was Gordon Hayward, one of my picks last night, but I don't know what happened to him. Only got you 27. Still had 17 real points, but obviously not what we wanted from him. Paul George, 42.9. He always plays very well against Carmelo, so that was a pretty good pick there. Next was Mr. Kevin Love. Surprisingly, New Orleans beat them by 2 points, but 47 from Love. Very good night from him. Next was David Lee. Was high on him all day. And as I said, he was very popular as well, 27.4, so good night from him. I decided to go with Miles Turner. Whiteside just didn't work out well, so Turner was obviously the good play. As I said yesterday, he was a little iffy for me because he's been so up and down, but he had such a good matchup against the Knicks. So, overall a pretty good night. Our second one here finished at a 305. This was Anthony's lineup. So we had a pretty good night on the premium side. As remember, guys, if you guys are struggling on NBA, you guys need some help, definitely let Anthony and I help you out. You get 2 to 4 lineups per day for premium. It's only $30 for the month, so definitely hit us up. If you guys are interested, we will have our email in the comment section. All you have to do is just message us, and we'll get you all set up on premium. Alrighty, with that being said, let's look into the 6-game slate. A lot of these games are all really high spreads. Close spreads and high totals. So going to be a very good night. So leading it off, we have Chicago and Orlando, a 205 total, and Chicago by 2.5. It should be a good one. Orlando playing a little bit better here. They are still down a little bit. Don't know what's going on. Fournier game time decision, but if he's out again, I definitely don't mind some Elfrid Payton. As we know, his usage just skyrockets when Fournier and Meeks are out. Did not practice, so that usually means he probably not going to play. So Payton for me, definitely in play. His usage is just crazy. Dwayne Wade's in play with no Fournier. CJ Watson's not going to stop Dwayne Wade. So I really don't mind some D Wade here tonight at all. Jimmy Butler, 9.6. Let me see if there's anybody else. I don't know if I can get him in there. There's a lot of other guys I'd really rather have, even though this should be a good one for him. I don't think Aaron Gordon really can guard Butler. Man, there's a lot of other people I would rather pick in this one. So I totally missed it last game when Orlando played, but if Fournier's out again, I totally missed it. Jeff Green, his usage, like I said, I missed that one. His usage definitely went up, and I should have picked him. Here against Milwaukee, not against Golden State, but against Milwaukee at 35-4. He's getting more minutes. He had a tough matchup against Golden State. Another kind of tough matchup here against Chicago. So I don't know if I go with him tonight, but if it was like New Orleans or something, I'd probably go, because his usage is so high. But probably pass on him here tonight. And then Serge Ibaka, I don't mind Ibaka. Not my favorite play, but still half decent spot here. Gibson's not doing too much. And then Vukovic should be in a half decent spot. Price coming down as well. Don't mind him against Robin Lopez. But for the most part, really don't care for this one. The other day, Bismack Biyombo had a pretty good game as well. He's at $4,300, as you see, 37 and 34 in his last two. So maybe if you want to put in some Bismack Biyombo, don't mind him. If you think he's going to continue his fantasy points, I don't know if he can or not, but if you think he will against Chicago, definitely put him in there. So for me, Elfrid Payton is I have to have him in this one. Really like some D Wade, and that's really it for me. Maybe Vuk, maybe Biombo, but don't want too much exposure. Even though it should be a close game, that total's not the highest out there at 205, but maybe one or two, and then probably move on from that. All right, moving on, we got Philly and the Clippers, a 203 total, and the Clippers by 3.5. So Blake Griffin is going to play tonight for the first time in 18 games. Been out for a very long time. Don't think he's going to play big minutes, probably even 15 to 20 minutes at max. They're not going to push him. He's not in play. He's been out way too long. They're not going to push him. So I don't think he's really in play for me. Austin Rivers tweaked his ankle the other night. I think he should be fine, though. But as normal, Raymond Felton's in play for me. Always solid to get you around 23 to 25. So I like Felton here. Don't mind some McConnell, though. Then don't mind Redick or Crawford. Probably would pick Redick. Philly's not good against shooting guards. Small forward for me, Robert Covington definitely comes to play. Joel Embiid is going to be out. Whenever he's out, Covington definitely does very well. As you see, 3 out of the last 4 games, he's been pretty good. 27, had a bad one against Toronto, and then 31 and 32. So, I really don't mind some Covington, 5,400. I think you put him in there against the Clippers. Wesley Johnson, my Mute, Paul Pierce, not too crazy defenders. I mean, my Mute's not bad, but probably don't mind some Covington at all. Then Ersan, I really like some Ersan. I know Griffin's going to be back, but as I said, he'll be limited. So Ersan, whenever Embiid is out, his usage is definitely high. Maybe some Saric, maybe he gets you 18, but not the biggest name out there. And then don't know what's going on with Okafor here. Let's see. Is limited, but is probable to play. All right, DeAndre Jordan for me then's in play. No Embiid. As I keep saying, whenever Embiid is out, Philly defense just is terrible. It already is not that good, but when he's out, it's just very bad. So I think Jordan can get you at least 40, 45 in this one. I really don't mind him. If you don't want to go Karl Anthony Towns, then I think DeAndre Jordan is your next best option. So, definitely don't mind him. So a little recap, don't mind some McConnell, don't mind Rivers. I think, the usage, obviously, for Rivers, it's going to go down a little bit. It's either going to go down for Rivers or Felton. I'm not sure who, because Griffin's out. Sorry, Griffin's back a little bit. So I still don't mind Felton, though. And then don't mind Redick. So for me, for this one, probably some Covington, maybe some Felton, some Ersan, and then maybe some DeAndre in a tournament, but maybe 2 from this one. As you see, it's a pretty low total as well. But still, this should be a pretty competitive game, so I really don't mind that one. All right, probably the best game of the night. We got Washington at Boston, 217 total with Boston, only by 1. So this should be a very good one. John Wall and Isaiah Thomas, both those guys are in play for me. Bradley is still out, so Boston struggling against the shooting guard. Bradley Beal, I think he's in a very good spot here. Price is going down a little bit. I definitely don't mind Beal in this situation. I think Otto Porter, once again, is a good spot. I know he's facing Jay Crowder, but, Porter's been a very good player here these last week or so. As you see, 32 last night against Charlotte. So Otto Porter, he's in play for me. He was going up against a good defender last night, Michael Kidd. So Crowder, he's a good defender, but I really don't mind some Otto. Once again, Markieff Morris, as normal, Boston is very bad against power forward, so I think Markieff Morris should definitely be in play for you. And then Al Horford, I don't mind some Gortat. You see here, Kelly Olynyk, see what he's been doing. He's been all over the place. So, I really like this one. 3 or 4 from this one. This is going to be the game that you're going to want to stack a lot. John Wall, Isaiah Thomas, like both of those guys. Probably would pick Wall over Thomas if you had to choose. And then Bradley Beal for sure, Otto Porter, and then Markieff Morris for me. So Morris, Porter, Beal, and then Wall. Probably definitely stacking that Washington side. And as I said, Isaiah Thomas is, as normal, in a pretty good spot as well. So it's probably where I'm going to go there. as I said, that 217 total, and the spread's only one, so it should be a very good, close, competitive ball game. So definitely stack up on your players from that one. All right, moving on. Two teams that are have a little injury prone right now: San Antonio and Toronto. 206 total, and San Antonio by 3. So if you guys don't know, Toronto's been having some issues. Lost 3 in a row. Right now, he's going to be out for a little bit with an ankle injury. So Norman Powell right away comes to my mind. Don't know what's going on with Kawhi Leonard yet. About 20, 30 minutes before lineup lock, he decided he was not going to play. So we have to definitely monitor that hand situation. If he doesn't play, then I think it's going to, just be like it was with that Brooklyn. You got to put in some Kyle Anderson, Murray. This is going to be like it was last night. Patty Mills, Lee. So, with Leonard's out, this is going to be a kind of a scrappy game. But right away, Kyle Lowry. I love Kyle Lowry tonight. Like everyone else is going to. No DeRozan, so Lowry is going to have to pick it up. Powell should start for DeRozan. Then Murray's going to be in there as well. Kyle Anderson should probably start if Leonard's out. I picked him in one of my personal lineups yesterday, and he had a pretty good game. We'll be going up against Carroll, so I still don't mind him though. Had 28 against Brooklyn, played 35 minutes, but I still don't mind him. Not my favorite option, but still a pretty good play. Aldridge and Lee for sure are going to be in play. Patterson looks like he's going to play, so definitely still don't mind Aldridge or Lee. And then Jonas Valanciunas, I think, should have a half-decent play here against David Lee. Lee's not the biggest dude or the best defender, so Valanciunas, his usage also is going to go up with DeRozan out, so maybe he gets you 30, 35 if you want to go that way. So, it's going to be a scrappy game. As I said, Lowry, definitely don't mind him. Don't know what's going on with Tony Parker. Hopefully Parker's not going to play. Will not play. Okay, so he's not going to play. So, just like it kind of was last night. You got Lowry. You got Patty Mills. Powell maybe if he's going to start for DeRozan. Murray. Kyle Anderson if he's going to start. And then Aldridge, Lee, and maybe some Jonas Valanciunas. So this can be a game that you're going to want all your cheap options at, just like last night, as I said. Probably about 3 or 4 from this one to fill in to get some of these big guys from Boston and Washington, and then some from that Minnesota and Phoenix game. All right, moving on. We got Utah and Denver at 211 total, and Denver by 2. It's pretty interesting. Utah, good game last night against OKC, traveling to Denver right away. George Hill, I love him. Don't know what's going on with Moutier, if he's going to play or not. Nelson will probably start if not. But George Hill's still in a pretty good spot for me. I don't mind Will Barton, not the best option here, but he's only $5,200, and if Harris doesn't play, then obviously Barton's a little bit better player. One guy that's playing a little bit more, I don't think his minutes are all the way up there, but maybe 2 or 3 weeks in the future, Alex Burke, maybe 20 and 20 in his last 2, played pretty big minutes against OKC. So I really don't mind Burks here in a GPP. If he does play, then he'll be going up against Will Barton. Probably still be coming off the bench, though, because Joe Ingles is going to start. But I don't mind Burks. I really don't. $3,600. If you get you 20 to 23, that's a steal right there. And as normal, Denver's not that good of a defense. And 211 total, and that spread is really close. So they're going to need Burks a little bit. So I don't mind him. Hopefully Hayward does something here tonight. I need him. So hopefully he plays a little bit. Maybe, like I said, if you want to put Joe Ingles in there, I don't mind him. I don't think you really need him here tonight, though. Not too high on Gallinari against Hayward. Maybe some Chandler, but don't want too many of these Denver bigs. Jokic, he's almost 10K, though. I still think he'll have a good game, but I don't know if I want to put him in here against Utah. I don't know. I still think he'll have a good game, but I'm personally probably not going to play him. And then I think Rudy for sure should be in play for you as well. So, should be a good close game. So for me, George Hill, I like him. Don't mind some Will Barton. Alex Burks maybe in a GPP if you want to go that way. Hayward, and then some Jokic maybe, and then some Rudy. Also, I totally forgot to mention it, but for that San Antonio game, watch out for that LaMarcus Aldridge news because it is a back-to-back, so maybe they rest him. Popovich always likes to rest players. And if Leonard's going to be out, they don't think they're going to really need Aldridge here. So definitely watch that news if Aldridge does sit, because Popovich does like to do that once in a while. Last game, it's one of the better games out here, Minnesota and Phoenix, 215 total, and Phoenix by 1.5. So as normal, should be a very good game. It looks like Rubio's gonna be back here. So right away, I like Bledsoe again. Not really too high here on Ricky Rubio. Not too high on Booker here against Levine. I don't mind Levine though. He's always really sketchy though. One day he's on, one day he's off. But don't like Booker against that Levine defense. Maybe put him in there, but I'd rather go Beal for me. Wiggins, I think, is for sure going to be in play. Warren and Tucker, not my best options, but definitely like some Wiggins in there. Gorgie Dang, I can't really trust the dude. He hasn't been doing too much for me. Every time I pick him, he duds on me, so I can't trust him. And then for sure, Carl Anthony and Tyson Chandler, both of those guys are in play. Minnesota's not that good against centers, and Tyson Chandler's been on a roll here recently, so I love him. And as I said, Carl Anthony, one of the best options of the night. So if you can get him in there, definitely put him in there. But if you want to go mid-range, I think Tyson Chandler is definitely the way to go in a cash game. All right. Anyway, like I said, Eric Bledsoe for sure for me. I really like him in this matchup against Rubio. Not too high in Booker against Levine. D, maybe some Levine. Wiggins, I love him. Not too high on those power forwards. And then Carl Anthony and Tyson Chandler to round it out. All right, well, let's try and get a lineup for you. If not, try and complete it as much as we possibly can. Let's go to these point guards here. All right, you got John Wall, you got Bledsoe. I'm going to try and go Wall, Peyton. Shooting guards, we're going to go Bill, Murray. If I can get Lowry in there, I'll definitely put him in there with Wall, because I said you have to have Lowry in there for sure. Oh, man, small forward, it kind of sucks, to be honest with you. Maybe Wiggins, Otto Porter's in play. I'm trying to find someone I can punt here. I would pick Kyle Anderson if he's going to start. Put in Mr. Covington, power forward. It looks like a very bad night, to be honest with you guys. It's not too pretty here. $8,100 to get Rudy in there. Jason Chandler. I don't think I can get Lowry though. Really want to get Lowry in there. I think I can. $200 left over. So that's kind of a brief summary of what I'm looking at. As I said, I really love Wall against Isaiah Thomas. It's going to be a very good matchup. You need to get Wall in there. Kyle Lowry, as I said, he is facing San Antonio, but no DeRozan, and San Antonio's a little nicked up right now. So Lowry, his usage is going to be huge. I love Bradley Beal here against Boston with no Avery Bradley. Murray, as normal, he's just a little fill-in. If he gets me 20, I'll definitely take that. Small forward is a little iffy for me. I really like Wiggins. I don't mind some Covington. If you can get to Otto Porter, I would definitely recommend it if you can. I definitely do Wiggins and Otto Porter as a combo, but if you can't, then I think Covington's in a good spot. And then depending on that Leonard news, maybe go with some Kyle Anderson. Then maybe you can get a bigger center or something like that. As I said, I really like some Markieff Morris here. Boston not good against those power forwards. David Lee, you have to have him in there, I think, against that center position. And then Tyson Chandler, as normal, sitting in a good spot. Get you at least 30, 35 here against Minnesota. I really like that. So, yeah, overall, pretty good rounded team there. 200 left over. So, guys, I think that mostly does it. Yeah, as I said, the video is a little bit later today, but I think that is totally fine. As normal, hope all you guys had a good game. Good night last night. We had a 309 and a 305. Really good on the premium lineup. So if you're interested in premium lineups, you guys are struggling a little bit, definitely let Anthony and I know. We will hook you up. Our email will be in the comment section. All you have to do, message us, and we'll get you all set up on premium lineups. Alrighty, guys. I think that does it. Hope everyone has a good Tuesday. Wednesday should be a pretty good slate of games, so we will see you then. All right, guys. Hope everyone has a good Tuesday.